Tyler Harden.
Ripley Bell.
And Rachel Grant.
Okay. Imagine if you or a loved one were told that your heart was no good anymore. Imagine hearing that they will be put on a list with hundreds and hundreds of people and that they may never get a heart. Imagine being told that there is nothing you can do but wait. Imagine being told you cannot save their life. I got my sources from the following: from nih.gov/books, from bizarrebackup.weebly, I got most of my quotes, and from texasheart.gov/news, also texasheart.gov/research, texasheart.org/research stem cell center, and texasheart.org/clinical trials. So my 3 main points about the Texas Heart Institute are: what does the Texas Heart Institute have to offer? And the second main point is why the Texas Heart Institution is necessary. And the third main point is the future of the Texas Heart Institute. So my name is Bailey Bladell, and I will let you know these 3 things. So according to the Texas Heart Institute website, and included on the Regenerative Medicine Medical Research page, 5 million Americans are waiting with heart failure, and they're living with this, and 50,000 people are dying each year because they're waiting for a heart transplant. They're waiting on a list. So, what does the Texas Heart Institution have to offer to you? The Texas Heart Institution works hard so that they can decrease the numbers of Americans on the waiting list each year. So they have stem cell research, regenerative medical studies, cardiovascular research, and many more. So the W.T. and Lewis Jarrett and Morton Endowment Fund support the Texas Heart Institute financially for cardiovascular research, and you can also help as well. And they do experimental imaging and therapeutics at the Texas Heart Institute, and it enables them to dig deeper into the heart and find the sources of the buildup of plague inside of the aorta. And they have come a long way since then. The medical research study industry is booming right now. And this means that they're to the point where people could die in 12 short months, but they're becoming studies about a ghost heart, studies about aorta transplants, studies about heart transplants. That's leaving people not on the list anymore. So we don't just want the Texas Heart Institute, we essentially need them. Millions of Americans are waiting for a heart transplant. They're dying each year on the waiting list. Medicine has improved miraculously in the last 200 years. Texas Heart Institute has stem cell center labs, like I said, which is up and coming research as well, and in their current clinical studies, they have patients in the research using stem cells to treat heart failure. Ultimately, this is becoming something more and more and more booming, and they've realized that stem cell therapy has great potential for treating those with serious cardiovascular disease. They currently are only seeing patients who have heart failure right now, which means that they're treating people who are on the heart transplant list. This is creating a decrease in numbers for people on the waiting list. If young people are given responsibility, are given the chance to do great things, they will always meet the challenge. Guy Bevel: we are giving these researchers responsibility of one another's life, and they have met the challenge decade after decade. And I think this quote is important. And for an example, Brian Barker, a Houston Energy executive, participated in a THI clinical study, and using adult stem cells from his own bone marrow in order to treat his heart after post-heart attack. And his story is unbelievable, and there are things he has been through, the worst of the times, and it seems there has always been an answer for him. The Texas Heart Institute was his answer at this point. The future of the Texas Heart Institute. And there are researchers doing complete renewal labs, paving a new way for discovery every day, and it just keeps booming. Texas Heart Institute has elected a new chairman of the board of trustees, Eric Wade. He has provided legal counsel to the Texas Heart Institute for more than 15 years, and he continues to impress the research industry. He is their to watch them grow together and find a new phase of medicine. There's also a new hospital being built in honor of him becoming the new chairman of the board. So, the Texas Heart Institute is completely necessary. It is a world where no one ever dies from an adverse drug reaction, where physicians have an entire range of medicine to choose from to treat a deadly disease, and where medications target tumors like smart bombs and leave surrounding tissues unharmed, where genetics accessibility to disease can be determined in childhood and possibly even prevented. This is a quote by Eric Topol, MD. So, he sees a world beyond today. He sees a world where medicine is helping us grow, helping us become a better community. And I think that this is important to understand that this is where we are going in today's time. And we have progressed from the last 200 years thus far, and we will progress again 200 more years even further. They're looking deeper into not only finding a cure, but also a cause that can be preventative in the future. Without the Texas Heart Institute, we're looking at no future of medicine. And if you think about how hard it was to do things 200 years ago, like I said, it's even harder to do now. So we just keep going with the stem cell therapy and the ghost heart. And you've now been informed of these things that we have to offer at the Texas Heart Institute and why it's necessary to keep our medical research building, as well as what the future of the Heart Texas Institute has to offer. So thank you, and
Rachel Grant.
Tyler Harden. Oh, I ended it.
And Bree Blado.